Hi, Marcel, the Wood Butcher here again. And like I said, I've been working on some small little projects, and I'm going to show you how to take that pile plus that pile, glue it together to this, and make this. Yes, it's a pen and pencil holder. And before anybody bitches and complains, I know right off the bat, this one is a little wider than this one. Well, this was the prototype, right? And then I saw how kind of small the space was, right? So I decided to increase the capacity by a little bit and make it accommodate a little bit more. But here's what we start off with, okay? We started off with pallet wood that, after painstakingly taking the pallets apart and then running them through the bench sander, I come up with the nice oak. Actually, this looks like pine more than oak, right? Than the pallet was made out of. But this is all pallet wood. So is that. That's from pallet wood. Recycled wood. Okay? Now, those are the two sides. Okay, let me back up a little bit. Those are the two sides. Now, what I did to, because I'm producing these, more than one, is I actually drew on graph paper a to size template, and kind of, I'm going to flip this around a little bit. And I got to tell you, I hope this video doesn't come out sideways like the last one I did on my phone did about the 5-tier candle holder. I apologize for that. But if I had a production staff, they'd have caught that and said, cut, let's do it again. But, hey, you know me, I'm the Wood Butcher. What goes up, goes up. What gets recorded, goes up. I'm going to spin this around. Because, I really don't have a production staff. I don't. It's me and me alone. Right? Okay. But, anyway, pallet wood. When you're going to use pallet wood, there's a couple of things you want to keep in mind. Number one is, how clean is the pallet? If it looks like a piece of shit or garbage, don't even touch it. Leave it there. Leave it there. Just go for the clean ones, right? Right? I'll have another video on sources that I get the pallets from. Okay? But, and it depends on the finish you want. If you want a rustic finish, don't sand them much at all. If you want a really fine finish, kind of like this is, right? I think that's in view, looking at the lens, Well, by all means, start off with 80 grit, go to 120 grit to 180 grit, after it's glued together. Or before it's glued together, do 80 grit. And then after that, 120, but because you can see that these edges are not rounded. I hope you can see this as, to match this here as they are on the finished product. Okay? And I did not use a router. This was all done on the benchtop belt sander. I'm going to spin this phone around, okay? And hopefully I'm not sideways again like I was with yesterday's video. Okay, so we have our pieces. Left side, right's our front and back. And left side, right side. Now, if you want, and if you want to keep the more square dimension that the prototype is, right? you can simply make these here. Make these the same width, right? And if we click them together, you'll see that I'm trying the best I can. If you don't like it, well, watch on and you'll learn, okay? And you can actually cut these to the exact same dimension as those, and then you'll end up with the square one. I kind of liked elongated a little bit, and holds a little more, right? Now, I also want you to pay attention to grain orientation. I wasn't too worried about it on the front and back, but on the two sides that are already oval, thank you for the bandsaw to do that. These here and here, I tried to match that as best as I could. Not so much for the up and down to the two sides, but for what's going to show along here and along here. Kind of looks good, right? Okay, well, okay, once that was glued together, right, and we had our pieces, and like I said, I'm a big fan of Titebond 2. With a pencil holder like this, I don't have any nails in it at all. I didn't see the requirement for them. I really didn't, you know. But here it is, okay? Now, what the next step will be is this whole thing will go to the bench sander, right? And that's where I manually round the edges. And it looks kind of rough right now, but when I round the edges, it's going to bring these two arches down just a bit. And the tricky part, because like I said, I don't use a router. I do it all by sanding, and it comes out looking like that when it's finished. Now, the stain I chose to use on this was American, well, whatever the hell it is, you know, right? Yeah, American Heritage, whatever the hell it is, right? But it matches some of the other desk pieces. Now, when it comes to the base, right, again, I did not use a router. I did that all by hand sanding on the bench sander. Is every corner exactly perfect? No. But you know what? They're close enough to where it shows that this is a handmade piece, right? And it matches some other stuff. Now on the bottom, I have not 4, but 5 of the little self-sticking rubber feet. Oh, and of course my logo that's etched in with the Dremel tool, right? And then I usually go over that with a black Sharpie so that it sticks out. But every piece I make, that shows on there. Because, hey, I'm proud of what I make. Okay? So, that's what it is. I did this one last night. Oh, and you'll see the blue in there. Don't worry about that. That's on the inside. I tried to sand that out, but it's just that ink was just too impregnated into the wood. And I figured it's on the inside, you know, is it really going to matter? You know, and plus, it throws a little authentication into it that this is made from reclaimed wood. Okay? So, on the next episode, what we're going to do is we're going to show you how these were cut out, the front and back, and the two sides, and the arch, right, which was done on my bandsaw. And if you look at this particular one, this is going to look really nice because look at that grain pattern. And that's exactly the way it's going to be assembled, where it almost looks like a tiger stripe or herringbone, whatever you want to call it. Okay? So, I'm going to spin this camera around, and like I said, I hope to God this isn't upside down again. Oh, one more thing I want to show you. When we talked about in the last video, the 5-tier candle holder, well, there is the finished product with all the blue tape cut away. There's like, I think it's like 3 coats of spray lacquer on it right now, and it's going to get more. But that is the finished 5-tier candle holder. That was a project that, like I said in the last video, that I resurrected and actually made it right. And I did go with the viewers' suggestions, and that was that this guy here, the grain actually goes straight across to match the others. I'm trying to do this, you know. Okay? So that's what it is. That's the finished product. I'll be posting drawings, and I'm going to spin this camera around. Okay? Hold on a second. Let me put you on the Soyuz a second. Oh, lost in space. So, that's today's video. For right now, this is Marcel, the Wood Butcher. Oh, by the way, I have a new official email address. And my email address is TWB732. That's the Wood Butcher, and my area code 732 at gmail.com. Okay? So if you want to email, feel free to. If you want to just comment underneath the video here, feel free to do that. And it really doesn't matter to me if you give it a this way or a shove it up your glove compartment. I don't care either way. My deal is I want to pass what I have learned and what I work on onto you to help you get started, or to give you some ideas. So, for right now, this is Marcel, the Wood Butcher, saying, protect your eyes, protect your lungs, protect your ears, and never, ever forget about these guys around power tools. I could tell you a story or two in my 2 emergency room visits. Okay? So take care, goodbye, and Semper Fi.